Welcome to today's Explainer. We're going to be diving deep into one of Earth's absolute most spectacular and honestly kinda terrifying phenomena. Imagine a force so incredibly immense that just a single flash can release hundreds of millions of volts. We are literally talking about a billion-volt weapon of nature here. It can split giant trees in seconds, melt sand right into glass, and instantly stop a human heart. And every single year, this phenomenon causes billions of dollars in damage and claims thousands of lives worldwide. 30,000 degrees Celsius. Let that number just sink in for a second. A single bolt of lightning is actually nearly 5 times hotter than the visible surface of the sun. It's wild. But this immense energy presents us with a massive scientific mystery. I mean, if it contains so much raw, explosive power, why on earth haven't we learned to capture it yet? And in an age where our satellites literally monitor the globe every single second, why can't we predict exactly where it's going to strike next? Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today's Explainer. 1. The science of the strike. 2. Global and local hotspots. 3. Surviving the surge. 4. The prediction challenge. And finally, 5. Harnessing nature's power.
So, starting with part 1, the science of the strike.
At its very core, you can think of lightning as just nature's way of balancing out electrical charges. Picture the inside of a massive thunderstorm cloud. You've got millions of tiny water droplets and ice crystals, and they are violently colliding with one another. Now, these constant collisions actually physically separate the electric charges. So, the upper part of the cloud gathers this big positive charge, right? Meanwhile, the lower part becomes heavily negatively charged. And this enormous negative charge at the base of the cloud actually repels the electrons on the Earth's surface directly below it. That creates a massive and frankly dangerous electrical imbalance.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what happens when that insulating air finally gives way. Step 1. A narrow channel of ionized air, which we call a step leader, basically races downward from the cloud. Step 2. In response to that, positive streamers rise upward from tall objects on the ground, so things like trees or buildings. And step 3, when those two finally connect, a massive electrical current just surges right through the channel. That brilliant flash you see, that's the return stroke. And the air around it expands so explosively from the sheer intense heat that it produces a shock wave. And yep, that shock wave is the exact sound we call thunder.
Now, in just a matter of milliseconds, this immense heat causes some pretty profound changes. As we mentioned, it has the deadly power to cause severe burns or cardiac arrest. It can ignite huge forest fires and completely fry electrical grids. But it can also create something pretty astonishing. When lightning hits sandy soil, that 30,000-degree heat instantly melts the silica. It forms these beautiful hollow glass tubes called fulgurites. They are literally lightning fossils. It's a permanent physical record of just a microsecond of incredible violence.
Moving on to part 2, global and local hotspots.
Globally speaking, the undisputed lightning capital of the world is Lake Maracaibo, down in Venezuela. The famous Catatumbo lightning there can literally illuminate the night sky for hours on end. You'll also see heavy activity in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Colombia, and Uganda. But we have to contrast this with the really deadly regional hotspots in India, places like Odisha, Bihar, Jharkhand, and West Bengal. Over in India, pre-monsoon thunderstorms make these specific areas incredibly dangerous. Every single year, lightning claims thousands of lives there, and it disproportionately affects farmers, laborers, and basically anyone whose livelihood keeps them working outdoors.
Which brings us to Section 3, Surviving the Surge. Since we can't stop it, human ingenuity has had to give us a few critical lines of defense. And it actually all started with Benjamin Franklin's simple but totally revolutionary lightning rod. This just provides the bolt a safe, direct path right into the ground, completely bypassing whatever structure it's sitting on. Today, we've expanded on that basic principle with really complex earthing systems, surge protectors to shield all our modern electronics, and rapid weather warning alerts right on our phones to keep us out of harm's way. But despite all of our high-tech, modern defenses, the absolute most effective defense is also the simplest one. When thunder roars, go indoors. It is such a simple but absolutely vital, life-saving rule. During a storm, you just have to avoid trees, open fields, bodies of water, and metal objects. So, okay, we know how to hide from it, but the big question remains, can we actually control it?
Well, before we answer that massive question, I just want to take a quick second to invite you to join our community. If you're enjoying this explainer today, please take a moment to hit that like button, share this with a friend, and drop a comment below. And definitely make sure you subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the fascinating science of our world. Your support is huge for us and really helps us create more of this content. Anyway, back to the big question.
Let's look at Section 4, the Prediction Challenge.
Now, what's really interesting about this is that we aren't exactly flying blind here. Our modern weather satellites are incredibly advanced. They are constantly and very accurately monitoring massive global metrics. We're talking cloud growth, moisture levels, atmospheric temperatures, and overall storm intensity. Some of these satellites can even detect lightning flashes almost instantaneously straight from space. Because of this, we can very accurately forecast which regions are at a high risk for strikes.
However, and this is the kicker, there is a hard limit to all this technology. No satellite today can accurately predict the exact tree, the exact building, or the exact second where the next bolt is actually going to strike. Why is that? Well, because the fundamental trigger for lightning relies on these microscopic changes deep inside the clouds. And these physical and electrical shifts, they happen within mere fractions of a second. So the scale is just way too small and the speed is just way too fast for our current tech to pinpoint.
And finally, Section 5, harnessing nature's power.
So this brings us to the ultimate question. Why don't we just harvest this free electricity? Well, the crucial point is that lightning is arguably the most difficult electrical event in nature to handle. Sure, it delivers extremely high voltage and huge electrical current. It possesses just massive amounts of power. But the fatal flaw for harvesting all that energy is that it's delivered in literally just milliseconds. Current battery technology simply cannot safely absorb such an enormous, explosive burst of power all at once. And on top of that, because it is so utterly unpredictable, building a massive grid of collection systems would end up costing exponentially more than the electricity we could ever hope to get out of it.
But hey, that definitely doesn't mean scientists have just thrown in the towel. Across the globe, there is some really incredible research underway right now. Huge space and weather agencies like NASA, NOAA, the European Space Agency, as well as India's ISRO and the Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, they are all actively studying high-energy lightning physics. They are exploring some truly fascinating futuristic technologies. We're talking ultra-fast switching electronics, advanced supercapacitors that might actually handle those sudden bursts, AI to vastly improve our forecasting, and even, get this, laser-triggered lightning experiments designed to literally guide a strike safely to a designated target. How cool is that? Yet, despite all these absolutely incredible efforts, no one has managed to develop a practical, economical system to harvest this energy just yet. Think about it. We have built remarkable satellites that monitor the entire globe. We've sent these sophisticated spacecraft far beyond our solar system. We've even created advanced artificial intelligence. But a simple, everyday thunderstorm still shows us our limits. Lightning is this constant reminder that nature still possesses wild, spectacular forces that remain completely beyond human control. Perhaps one day, the technologies we just talked about will finally allow humanity to safely capture this incredible power. But until then, it remains an untamed mystery. And that actually brings us to our question of the day. If scientists do eventually figure out a way to succeed in storing lightning energy, do you think it could ever actually become a practical, everyday source of electricity for us? I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts on this, so please drop a comment below. And as a quick reminder, if you enjoyed this explainer, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content exactly like this. Keep learning, and I'll see you in the next one.